Hello, welcome to Progressive Education Society's Modern College of Pharmacy, Nigadi, Pune, in the e-lecture series of in the subject Natural Drug Technology.
In this video, we will discuss about herbal novel drug delivery systems or the novel drug delivery systems that can be applied to herbal drugs. Novel drug delivery systems are novel or newer types of formulations. Those are specifically engineered for delivering uh, mm, quality or controlled release pattern of the drug or for enhancing the drug delivery patterns. There are various approaches for designing the herbal novel drug delivery systems. Uh, Generally, like to minimize the drug degradation and loss. As we all know, most of the herbal drugs, those are stable in their intact form. That means as long as they are protected by their natural covering and natural surrounding. Once those are isolated or extracted, their stability is a great issue. So, once after isolation, if we want to focus upon reducing the degradation of the drug, we need to protect the drug by various pH of the body or hormones present in the body as well as various enzymes of the body. For this, we need to protect it with various covers or coatings in order to prevent its degradation. Next, to prevent the harmful side effects, there are chances that herbal drugs can be toxic, can be more, can show more adverse effects. By increasing their potency and hence by decreasing their dose, one can get rid of the harmful side effects. By decreasing the interaction with undesired receptors. As drug enters into the body, the drug may bind to most of the receptors wherever it forms its complementary structure. But if we attach certain ligand or certain, if we change its outer shape, then there are chances that we can decrease the interaction with undesired receptors. Few more approaches like to increase the drug bioavailability. Herbal drugs, especially, are bulkier, so they are less absorbed through the gut or through the route of administration. So, in order to increase their bioavailability, we can increase absorption from the route of entry by increasing its half life, by decreasing the degradation by most of the liver enzymes like cytochrome P450s and all. Besides, there is a targeted drug delivery system approach wherein there are two kinds of targeting. One is called as passive targeting. Passive targeting means here the drug specifically goes and attaches. If we take an example of anti-cancer drugs like vincristine, vinblastine, the drug specifically goes and accumulates into the tumors because most of the tumors they have enhanced vasculature. That means the blood capillary, the rate of blood flow and the amount of blood capillaries are more to a tumorous tissue compared to a normal tissue, and because of this the drug gets immediately accumulated in the tumorous tissue. Active targeting. Active targeting is wherein the drug carriers or certain ligands are bound to the drug, wherein because of these ligands, the drug goes specifically to the required tissue. That means its surface characteristics are changed. The drug carriers are coated with ligands that are selectively identified by the receptor. According to the receptor structure, complementary structure is created or loaded on the drug. Ligand is loaded on the drug. Since a specific or proper ligand receptor interaction is possible, then this could allow a more precise, that is, more proper targeting of the drug at our site of interest. One more approach is controlled drug delivery. Now, this approach is responsible or generally focused upon by desorption of the surface bound or adsorbed drug. Suppose a drug is loaded or coated on a carrier. In that case, the release of the drug from the carrier is dependent or it can be controlled based upon the change in the pH. The interaction between the drug and the carrier will break, and thereby there is desorption. Desorption means release of the drug from the formulation. Diffusion through carrier matrix. Suppose a chalk-like material is there and the drug is loaded inside it, a sponge-like material, and the drug is loaded inside that. Then the drug slowly comes out of the formulation. Now, this slow release of the drug into its surrounding is called as diffusion. And the carrier matrix here is a sponge-like material. Now, diffusion from nanocapsules through carrier walls. Now, here the carriers or the material that is used in the formulation has a thin membrane, and the drug is entrapped or the drug is captured within this membrane. As the drug goes at the site of action, it slowly diffuses or permeates through this wall. Next, carrier matrix erosion. Carrier matrix erosion is very similar to a chalk. Suppose it is very analogous to a chalk. If we take a chalk and write on the board, the chalk slowly decreases its size. Now assume a colored chalk wherein a white colored chalk is filled with some color. Let us say pink color. And if we are writing on the board, we get pink color eroded on the board. Now this kind of formulations are called as carrier matrix erosion. The matrix slowly degrades and each of the compartment of the matrix is loaded with the drug. So as the matrix is getting eroded, simultaneously drug is also coming into the surrounding. Few more approaches like sustained or continuous release. Here, due to diffusion of the polymer, this is very similar to controlled, but the rate of diffusion is extremely slow so that the drug is released into its surrounding for a prolonged time. One more way how you can monitor the sustained release is degradation of the polymer over the time. If we take an example of suppose pH dependent degradation, here the carrier slowly dissolves into a specific pH and thereby releases the drug at a slow rate. Most of the formulations like analgesic formulations like diclofenac, sodium, we get in the market as SR tablets, sustained release tablet, because the patient is in need of continuous and slow release of the drug. This prevents the immediate release and thereby the adverse effects like GI mucosa erosion is prohibited or prevented. One more called as pulsatile drug delivery system. This is an approach wherein it is very similar or it closely mimics the way by which the body naturally produces hormones such as insulin. That means this is dependent upon negative feedback mechanism. If whenever the body is in need of the insulin, it will secrete. Whenever there is high amount of low amount of glucose level, in that case the insulin will not be released by the beta cells. On the same hypothesis, these kind of formulations they work. Whenever there is more concentration of drug in the surrounding media, the formulation stops its release, and when the concentration of the drug in the surrounding media falls below, then in that case slowly the drug is released from the formulation. This can also be done by using a drug carrying polymer that responds to specific stimuli, like, for example, exposure to light or changes in the pH or temperature. Usually, the cosmetics are designed in this way. If they are applied to the skin and on exposure to the light, they change their color. So such kind of cosmetics can be used as pulsatile, or most of the time pH dependent is formulations like or the carrier that degrades in the pH, these kind of formulations are indicated in the treatment of hyperacidity in the GI. One more called as to promote the approach is to promote crossing of the blood-brain barrier. This can be facilitated by making the use of hydrophilicity and lipophilicity of the drug. Remember, the blood-brain barriers are highly lipophilic structure. So, if your drug is to pass this membrane, it has to be slightly lipophilic and slightly hydrophilic. That means if it is completely lipophilic, it will be entrapped into the blood-brain barrier. But we don't want to release the drug in the blood-brain barrier. Instead, it should cross the blood-brain barrier. For that reason, the drug should have hydrophilicity as well. But mere hydrophilicity, that means only hydrophilicity will not work, because it will not be able to cross or enter into the blood-brain barrier. Various scope or area wherein novel drug delivery approaches or systems can be applied to the herbal drugs are uh, like prevention of herbal drug degradation by the gastric pH or gastric acidity. As we all know, herbal drugs are highly unstable at acidic pH. So, one can make use of acid protective coatings to these herbal drugs, or we can alternatively change the route of their administration. Next, prevention of the drug degradation by first pass effect. As far as oral drug delivery is concerned, the first pass effect is a major issue. All the absorbed nutrients and the drugs are carried towards the liver for metabolism, wherein they are changed to various metabolites. Now, these metabolites can sometimes be hyperactive, sometimes can be non-active. This can be avoided by preventing the degradation from liver enzymes. That means by coating the drug in such a way that the coat itself is resistant to cytochrome or liver enzymes. It, you can even reduce the portal absorption of the drug by making it a bulkier molecule or preventing its absorption through the portal vein. Also, you can change the route of administration so as to avoid the first pass effect. Bioavailability, as we have discussed, is the major issue as far as herbal drug is concerned. So this can be increased by increasing the absorption into systemic circulation, either by binding to plasma protein. That means once they are absorbed into the systemic circulation, the drug should remain attached to the plasma proteins, or by reducing the particle size also, the drug is able to cross various membranes and enter into the systemic circulation. The other areas like increasing the efficacy of the herbal drugs. Um, Generally, herbal drugs, they are not efficacious or they are not potent enough. That is the reason why most of the traditional systems, they prescribe the drug for a chronic duration or for more than 6 months or 2 months. So if you want to increase the potency or efficacy of the drug, either you have to isolate the phytoconstituent of the drug, or either or extract the crude drug instead of prescribing the crude drug alone. Either the extracts or isolated components should be prescribed or added into the formulation, or incorporation of target drug delivery system to the formulation can also solve the purpose. This can be done by attaching certain ligands. As we have discussed earlier, the target specific ligands are available wherein the drugs, herbal drugs, can be loaded, and then the drug will be carried solely to the required site of action. Or one more strategy to increase the efficacy is by prevention of herb drug interaction or herb herb interaction. The herbal drugs, they have wide variety of ways to react with other molecules. So if you're coating the herbal drug, the its reactivity is reduced, so herb drug interaction can also be reduced, thereby its efficacy will be increased. Another area is to increase the dose or frequency of dosing. Herbal drugs usually are prescribed in larger doses, like 1 or 2 tablets, generally 2 tablets, or sometimes more amount of drug is given to the patient. Even the frequency is also more, like thrice a day, 4 times a day. So this can be reduced by using extracts or isolated phytoconstituents, by incorporating again similar target drug delivery system, by imparting better biopharmaceutical property to the drug. Example, like suppose sometimes phytosomes can be added. Phytosomes are formulations which are similar to ethosomes or liposomes, but they carry the phytoconstituent. And the example for this are Silabum marianum. This is a plant, Silimarine plant, used for the treatment of liver disorder. Then Ginkgo biloba, ginseng. They are loaded with phospholipids and added into the phytosomes. Thereby their frequency is reduced. One more way is involving the herbs through phytosomes in cosmetology. Uh, Cosmetics are the products wherein herbal drugs today are gaining more and more importance. Nano sizing of the herbal drugs can also improve their stability, as the properties of any component changes drastically if it has been reduced to nano. Now we'll just have a look at the various types of novel drug delivery systems. Those have been tried and found good, or for the herbal drug delivery systems, like liposomes, then microspheres, these are small balls, then nanoparticles, phytosomes, transperosome, ethosomes. Ethosomes are similar to liposomes, but they carry ethanol. Then nano or microemulsion, polymer micelle formulations, transdermal systems, and implants. So these are few of the formulations which have been tried successfully for various herbal drugs. Now this picture summarizes all the ways or strategies how novel herbal drug delivery systems can be designed.